Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out. It's really good to be back at a graduation again. A few housekeeping rules. Just a reminder to have everybody silence their cell phones so we're not interrupted during the service. And if you could please put a mask on while you're seated, it would be appreciated. We do have some clients that are not able to be vaccinated, though the risk is very low outdoors and it is windy. We'll ask that we do that for the folks that are not able to be vaccinated. But I wanted to, on behalf, there are some masks in the back, I believe, at the table back there, if you need one. But on behalf of the board, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. We're excited to be here to celebrate 7 dogs that are graduating, 7 new clients that will be joining our community. I know about half of these dogs were born after the pandemic started, so it's been amazing that we've been able to keep the program going thanks to DPS allowing training to continue on at the ABLE program and the work that the ABLE trainers have done. Though staff wasn't able to go in, Deb could talk to them once a week for about an hour or two. So I just want to, even though they can't be here with us, give a big thank you to all of our ABLE trainers that have worked hard through this hard time for them, because I know they were not able to have visitors either. So thanks to all of our ABLE trainers for their hard work. Thank you to the staff. Thanks to all of the trainers that volunteer with the EENP, all of the YPT trainers, furlough trainers, people that house dogs. There's a lot of people out there that put a lot of hard work in, so we really appreciate that, as well as all of the folks that volunteer to do various things like transport dogs, laundry, make special meals, all of that. So we wouldn't do this without everybody here. And then a big thank you to all of our financial supporters, the folks that have made financial contributions. We couldn't do it without all of those. In the back of your program today, you'll see that we are getting closer to moving into our new home here in Hillsborough. A lot of steps have come. I think we even had people out there volunteering last weekend to paint. So we're getting closer to that, and we hope that everybody will continue to support us as we get closer to that, hopefully by this summer. So without, just big thanks to everybody for coming out and for all your support.
Hello, everyone. It's really great to see everyone's faces, or at least one of them I can see behind the masks or above the masks. First of all, I want to apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties, which centered around the fact that I left my phone at home, had someone else get my phone. They got my phone but thought they didn't, so I went back to my house to get it. That all got me a good 30 minutes behind, so I apologize. It's largely my fault that we're getting started so late. So 2 years ago, our March graduation happened 1 week before everything got shut down for the pandemic. And today is really kind of a milestone because one of the dogs that's graduating is a dog that was born after the pandemic started, so after that shutdown. We had 2 litters of puppies pretty quickly after the shutdown, and they were both named for heroes of the pandemic. And we have one of those dogs, Byerley, is graduating today. And so hitting that milestone it makes me look back at the last 2 years and just think about all that we've done and come through in that time. We spent almost an entire year working really completely remotely. Our staff weren't in the same place together. We weren't doing classes. It's really hard to train dogs remotely. As it turns out, we did a remarkable job of it, but it's not easy to do. So that first year was pretty hard. And then we spent another 9 months or so really not working very much together. So working a little bit in the office, trying to do a lot of field trips and classes outside. In September 2020, we did a big push to make placements. So we did 2 back-to-back client team trainings and placed 7 dogs. And that went really well, but it was also really exhausting to do everything, all new protocols, you're deciding everything at the last minute. It was all really exhausting. And so we went into 2021, I think really beaten down. We had kind of put everything on the field to get through 2020, and we thought in 2021 it was going to get a lot better. There was a vaccine. We were going to be able to do stuff again, and then it didn't really turn out that way. And I know I personally went through some, I'm going to start crying, but it was a hard year. Like mental health for everyone was just rough, and motivation was really down. It was just hard to get together the energy to make it all happen in yet another new way. So in 2021, we only made 1 set of placements. We placed 5 dogs, and we ended up postponing our later placements because we wanted to give our staff a little bit of a break. We also were hoping we would be into our new facility and be able to do trainings there, and so we were taking a gamble, which turned out to be a bad gamble, that we would be able to do our 2022 graduations in the new place. Yeah, so that's how we entered 2022. 2021 was kind of our let's get ourselves back together, get our energy together. And so in December 2021, we really hit the ground running. We started working really hard to get ready for our placements this year, and we're training again in person. Started training in the office. Deb and Brad started working 3 days a week at Union Grove United Methodist Church, who had very generously donated space for us to work. And it all started to come back together. We also started to see movement on our new home. So we broke through some of the delays, which is huge. We've really been waiting for that to come together. And it's really been a long road, but we are in the final stretch on our house. And so we're really hoping that for our July graduation, we will be based out of the new home and not out of our temporary home. So that's our hope for the next quarter. But all that's like the hard times. The thing is that community is what makes this organization tick. And so it is the ability to get back together in person and see all of you at graduation, celebrate our new teams together, and really just spend this time together that really motivates us. And so you all being here and sharing this moment with us is what's going to carry us through the next few months as we get ready for our next round of trainings. So, Deb, you come up here with me. We just wanted, it's been such a long road for the last couple of years, and we just had some appreciations that we wanted to make. So the first one is just for our community. I am so grateful to our community for sticking with us when things are going wrong, when we're throwing out graduation invitations at the last minute. We're not sure what time it's going to be, where it's going to be, but you guys still show up for us. We had a couple times early pandemic, we had to evacuate all of our dogs from prisons, and we had so many volunteers who were just raised their hands, made that a remarkably painless process. So thank you to our community for continuing to support us through the pandemic. I want to thank all of our staff, past and present. We've had some turnover through the pandemic, but It's not been easy to work through this pandemic, and I appreciate all of you for all that you did and put up with and struggled through to keep our organization going. I want to thank our board for supporting us through all of this. Our board is really remarkable, and I just feel always has our back. And so I want to thank all of our board members.
A little over a year ago, has it been a year? No, it's been a year and a half ago. Through one of our board members, I heard that the pastor at Union Grove United Methodist Church said that they had some space that they were happy to have a nonprofit come out and use. The pastor, Rich Greenway, little did he know that I would be moving in. Me and I guess over the course of all the months, probably about 15 dogs. We have occupied their grounds, which are lovely, and in this last round, we've actually gone inside. We ran our first client team trainings. We ran 3 client team trainings outside, and then these last 2 inside. So we have actually been in their fellowship hall and have just thoroughly enjoyed that space. And to be honest, come Monday, we won't be headed out there. And depending on when our Hillsborough house is ready, we might not go back out there. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, because really and truly that has seemed like my office. So there's a deep, deep, heartfelt thanks to Union Grove United Methodist Church for essentially hosting us and offering a space to make the service dog team magic happen. I want to let's see her. Julie, where are you? Stand up, Julie. I just want to say, Julie is our administrative assistant, and today is her 4-year anniversary working for EENP. So, yay, Julie! Thank you so much for everything you do. I wouldn't be able to. There's so many times that Julie is catching a ball that we've dropped. Thank you very much for all that you've done. Maria mentioned that we started 2022 off with a bang, and I want to introduce a few firecrackers that made this bang possible. The first is Brad Austin. Brad is an able trainer who was released from prison in November, right at Thanksgiving. And he joined us in December and really was the thing that helped me get all the dogs ready for the January client team training. And it was just such a gift to have him. 2 other firecrackers are sitting over here. Hanna Baum, our new client services person, and Madeline Gress. Hanna and Madeline joined us at the tail end of January. They were actually mock clients during our January client team training, and then in what has been nothing short of amazing, they taught and led the lion's share of this past client team training. So these folks have really gotten this year off to a fantastic start, and I can't believe that we have you guys. We're just so blessed. And the last, and certainly not the least, folks that I want to recognize are the able trainers. I think that Heidi mentioned them. There are essentially about 20 incarcerated men who do the vast majority of the skills training for the dogs. The dogs go in at about 6 months of age, and then they come out at 18 to 24 months of age and graduate. And it really is the work of the able trainers that makes the service dogs what they are, as helpmates for the clients. We can't do our work in the prison without the staff at the prison, and we actually have some pretty exciting and special guests. I think that standing out there in the parking lot, we have Pamela Leonard. She is the liaison for us at Warren Correctional Institution. And then we also have Sergeant Edwards, who has also come out. A particular hats off to folks in NCDPS, because they are running super short on staff. And basically, I know that both of these folks have gone above and beyond again and again and again to be sure that the dogs are staying in the prison, and the work is getting done. And I also want to just head back to the ABLE trainers. Back when Brad was in ABLE, he was one of our leaders. When ABLE trainers start off as brand new trainers, they all get a red leash. And that basically means they're brand new and they're learning how to do basic obedience. As they progressed, and Brad did, they mastered the obedience skills, and then they get a blue leash, which means that they can start training service dog skills, which is all very, very exciting. And Brad not only went through that, but exceeded it, and he went on to get a silver leash. And as a silver leash, they learn more about instructing and leading classes. When Brad was in ABLE, there was this fabled gold leash. And basically, after you've mastered being an instructor, then you go on and you learn how to manage the program, right? And when he was in, there was no gold leash. And in fact, there were no gold leashes until the pandemic happened. If there's any silver lining that comes from the pandemic, it has been the leadership and the dedication of our ABLE trainers, who essentially have been running this program with very little help from me, just a phone call a week, and very limited help even from the staff members, because they're busy really holding the prisons together and doing so many of the other things that need to happen to make those places run smoothly. So my hat's off to I think at this point we have 5 gold leashes. And then all the guys who are behind them that fill in and make sure that the training happens. And then actually, it's just been recently that I've been able to go into the prison, and I got to meet some trainers that were hired after the pandemic who I had literally never met before. So it's just an amazing group of guys. So deep, deep appreciation for all the work that they do. Transitioning to my very favorite part of the ceremony, we are moving on to the leash ceremony. And this is the part of the ceremony where EENP officially hands off dogs to our clients. And Hanna Baum is going to come and introduce the dogs and the clients for passing off the leash.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm so excited to be here. This is my very first graduation, and extra exciting because it's 2 graduations in one. So I'm just very excited to be here. So we'll just get started. So our first graduate is from the January cohort. It's Ian Rhodes with Milo. However, they went on vacation, so they will not be here. And apparently they took some of the warm weather with them, but it's fine. We'll just celebrate with them next time whenever they are here, and we'll just group them in with the next ceremony. It'll be great. So, from our most recent client team training that literally just ended yesterday, our first dog is Mr. Mooch, who has to wake up from a nap. And Mooch loves to curl up with a good book, maybe some snacks too, I don't know. And he loves to walk in the woods. I got to have Mooch for a weekend whenever I did some home visits in Asheville, and literally everywhere we went, everyone commented on how handsome he was, which, I mean, look at him. How shiny and beautiful he is. So, so yes, Mooch is a very special boy. And then we have Alex. So Alex is a very active 6-year-old. He soon will attend school, and he loves to play outside, sometimes with his younger brother, sometimes not. He also likes to walk down the long driveway to visit his grandparents. He had a stroke as a baby, so he does have some right-sided weakness. So Mooch will help Alex balance on an even ground and navigate stairs safely. During client team training, Melissa, Mooch, and Alex like to make what they call a Moochy sandwich, which I can tell you is even cuter than it sounds. And Mooch will help keep Alex upright and moving forward wherever he goes. Congratulations. Good job, guys. Alex wants to know if it's his turn to speak yet. Next up, we have from the January client team training, we have Mr. Gatsby. It's so funny because all the dogs are like, wait a minute, who are you? Why are you saying my name? So Gatsby, as you can see, is also a very handsome boy. He's very sensitive. He loves people and always wants to make sure that he's doing the right thing. He loves pedicures, bandanas, and for special occasions, a black tie. And he loves to play fetch as well. And Miss Asher, I think I speak for everyone in the January client team training when I say that Asher was the most fashionably dressed. And as you can see, she has pulled out all the stops today. Even her wheelchair, I wish you guys could see that. It's decked out. She has a personalized license plate, and it has light-up wheels, so it's officially the coolest one I've seen. So Asher suffers from pain flares, fatigue, and muscle weakness, which means sometimes she's unable to walk to her parents' room to get help in the middle of the night. So Gatsby will help by alerting Asher's parents if she's in pain, fatigued, or nauseous, and he will also perform deep pressure therapy for Asher to help with symptoms. He's very, very connected to her, and recently when Asher has been upset, he will do his very best to cheer her up by bringing her one of his favorite toys. And since Asher is the best dressed, it only makes sense that Gatsby is now the best dressed as well. You should see his collection of bandanas. He has a raincoat, boots. I'm surprised he doesn't have his own closet yet.
We're working on it.
Yeah, congratulations. Good job, guys. All right, and next up we have the beautiful Miss Byerley. Byerley is a very spunky girl who she has lots of energy. She loves to run. I've seen her get zoomies a couple of times, and it truly is just she's a blur. She also loves to cuddle, which I'm sure that Ghost can attest. She does not know what personal boundaries are, personal space. She does not know. Those don't exist in her world. And she's fine with it. She tries to be helpful in the morning by waking you up by dropping her food bowl on your face, which means that obviously it's time for breakfast and you are late. And with Byerley, we have Ghost. So Ghost has recently started high school, which is super exciting, although Ghost may not agree. When they're not at school, they like to play video games and do their hair and makeup, which, as you can see, they are very good at. Ghost has EDS, which is a genetic disorder that causes muscle fatigue and joint hypermobility, which means walking long distances, going up and down stairs and picking up items can be difficult. So that's where Byerley comes in, and she will help by retrieving items, making stairs and longer distances easier to navigate, as well as being a constant loving companion. Congratulations. An amazing hair and makeup. Oh, Ghost, you get a certificate.
Oh, thank you.
All right, and next up we have the most handsome Kemp. So Kemp looks like a full black lab, but fun fact, he is actually a quarter golden retriever, which I think is why he has some of the best ears. Very, very perky. So I was very lucky in the fact that I had Kemp during January client team training where I was a mock client. And I can attest he has a very unique morning routine. Not as invasive as Byerley's, but still memorable. He likes to do a big stretch, and when he does his big stretch, he also does a big woo. Not quite sure what he's saying during that time, but I think it's like, again, along the lines of Byerley, where it's time to get up, you're running late, I think it's time for breakfast. And so with Kemp, we have Josh. So Josh is a current student at Campbell University with plans to attend law school after undergraduate. He also loves history, which means that he will randomly drop historical facts in the middle of conversation, which happened yesterday. A few years ago, he was in a car accident that left him in his power chair, which is also very cool because he can go up and down stairs. Kemp is going to love going to school with Josh and learning, and will help by picking up dropped items and literally opening doors for him. And fun fact, today is Josh's birthday. Not gonna forget. Congratulations, Josh and Kemp. Kemp says, I remember you from January.
Oh. Yep. Good boy. Yep. Let's go. Good.
All right, and next up we have Rustin. He's a big, handsome boy who apparently I learned today he was voted most likely to party in Able, which I had no clue about, but that fits. Rustin was also, I think, one of the first, if not the first, to alert during client team training, which was absolutely awesome to see. Because again, that was my first client team training. That was the first time I had seen that, and Rustin was right on the ball. So again, voted most likely to party, but also work. So, they say work hard, play hard. So good job, Rustin. So with Rustin, we have Jasper, who is EENP's youngest client. Jasper and Rustin are actually almost the same age. Jasper is a very spunky boy. He loves to spend his time with his family, and also loves to bless his best friends with stickers, which happened a lot during client team training. Brad, as you can see, has a whole bunch. He was also one of the best dressed during client team training, although I think we might have to thank Molly for that instead of Jasper. So Jasper has diabetes, so he often has high or low blood sugar, and since he's so young, it's hard to know, it's hard to keep track of that. So Rustin will help Jasper and the family by alerting Mom Molly to Jasper's high and lows, so Jasper can be the independent 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old that he wants to be. Congratulations. Okay, last but not least, we have Mr. Dale. So Dale has been described by many as a little slice of heaven, and I do not think that there could be a more apt description for him. He's also very, very handsome today. He's wearing a bow tie. And we say if Dale was writing a Tinder profile, he would say that he loves long walks on the beach, playing fetch, and lots of cuddles. Dale is named for Armadale Animal Hospital, which has been very, very generous in their support of EENP, so thank you very much. And with Dale, we have Les, who is a sports enthusiast who worked in TV for decades before being diagnosed with Parkinson's. He currently leads a very active life, and Dale will help him continue leading an active life and help Les by keeping him moving forward and safe on the stairs. Dale also started to alert class during client team training, even though Dale was mainly for mobility, which was, again, awesome to see. So congratulations, Les.
Thank you.
And we are extra, extra lucky. So since we had 2 graduations with 2 client team trainings, we also have 2 speakers. So the one for the January client team training will be Molly, who is Jasper's mom. Yay!
Hi everyone. My name is Molly Fogel, and I'm the parent of a soon-to-be 3-year-old Jasper. In March of 2021, I noticed Jasper was aggressively drinking water and soaking through his diapers. Despite reassurances from the pediatrician and my partner that everything's fine, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. So after a quick, urgent trip to urgent care, an unreadable blood glucose level, and an even faster ambulance ride to the ER and a stay in the ICU, we were told that he had type 1 diabetes. A type 1 diagnosis is life-changing. A new world of bolusing and carb counting, finger pricks and pod changes is overwhelming for most people, and was even more so for a mom who also struggles with severe PTSD and depression. Our circle of friends rallied around to support us, bringing us food, connecting us with other families with type 1 kiddos. But one friend who specializes in dog training stopped me in my tracks when she told me about diabetic alert dogs. Well, if you know me, you know I immediately tumbled down a Google rabbit hole trying to learn and absorb everything I could about these incredible service companions. It didn't take me long to find EENP, and after a wonderful phone call with Deb, I knew I was in the right hands. In telling friends and family about our plans to get a service dog, I heard it all. But why do you need a dog when you have amazing technology? Won't it be more stressful to have to go in a store with 3 young kids and a service dog? Even our endocrinologist was a bit skeptical. But after our initial interview with EENP, I was certain of a few things. These dogs far surpass even the most up-to-date technology we have. Having a service dog by my side will only give me more confidence going out in public. And honestly, we already look like a train wreck, so why not add a helpful companion to the chaos? Next was fundraising and planning, and of course, more research about how a diabetic alert dog would fit into our family. Then came client team training. 2 weeks of all-day sessions covering the intricacies of commands, grooming, public access, and everything else they need to know about service dogs, all while battling intense depression and caring for an adventurous toddler who was unwilling to take naps. And I don't blame him. Who wants a nap when you can hang out with Brad? Pet dogs, eat snacks, and hand out stickers to everyone. Despite the intense schedule and rigorous training, what stood out the most to me was the compassion we all had for one another. There's something so comforting about being around a group of people that understand the challenges of parenting a kid with complex medical needs. We all questioned ourselves and our abilities at some point. We all had to stop to take breaks to tend to medical necessities. We all pushed ourselves far past our comfort zone. The support I received from EENP staff and current client families was amazing. And the support of my partner who worked from home while taking care of our other 2 kiddos to make all this possible for me as well. Jasper, who started training as a shy, reserved, pandemic toddler, gained a level of confidence being around people that I've never seen before. And I gained confidence not only with handling a service dog, but in who I am as a person. I started training feeling incapable and anxious, and left knowing that people sitting here today have our backs. EENP is a family that I never knew I needed, and I am eternally grateful.
Thank you so much, Molly. Only teared up a small bit. Next up for our March Client Team Training speaker, we have Les Vann and the little slice of Heaven Dale.
Yeah.
I'll take them. For real?
Seriously. Good afternoon. Thank you, everybody. Real quick synopsis of how I got here. The early part of 2020 was not good to me, like a lot of people. A bout with anemia, sprinkled with the helping of COVID, I ended up in the hospital getting blood transfusions. Got out of the hospital. I took a very bad fall. It wasn't the first time, but this was the worst time. And I landed on my chest, and I broke 4 ribs and screwed up my sternum. So let me give you a little piece of advice. Don't fall. If you do fall, don't break your ribs. If you do, and they give you oxycodone for it, don't start drunk dialing your friends. Or try to change the password on your bank account. Those are all bad ideas. Maria took these pictures. These are the worst class pictures I've ever seen. Because these are pictures of what really are families. And only a photographer's eye and Maria's heart could make class pictures look like this. Remember class pictures in grade school? They all look like little bitty mugshots. So Maria, thank you and congratulations. I'd like to thank my team, our team, that elected me to speak today. An hour and a half from now, when I'm still going, they're going to think they made a mistake. Our group was a diverse group. Just look at the picture. We're diverse in our age, diverse in our family size, we're diverse in the medical challenges that we face. I won't use the word disabilities. I do use the word challenges. It just makes you wonder, how in the world can these problems be addressed? And who is there to take care of all of this? Well, our main teacher, Deb, is a friggin' genius. Among the things she's taught these dogs to do, pick up my cell phone, my keys, my wallet, the remote, my fork. She left something out of the curriculum. None of us know where those things are. So maybe you should add that next year. But I get back to, I'm so amazed this week looking at all of these folks who have so many issues and so many challenges, and families. And speaking of families, my wife Shannon is sitting right there. She's a Shannon McGinnis, a 5-foot piece of Irish dynamite that I can tell you a lot of stories about later. This is a family issue. This is not one person's challenge. And without the families, including the families we made over the last couple of weeks, this would not be fixable. But the animals needed something else to get to us. They got the staff of EENP and the gift of these God's creatures to all of us that no one will ever imagine. But all of these creatures will make our lives more manageable for all of our families, all of our friends, and we look forward to coming back here when it's a little warmer and celebrating those victories. And we will get victories. Thank you.
I'm not going to be very good at following up on that. But Les is right. This is, as I said, all about community, and it's the community that motivates us to keep going through hard times. If EENP didn't have so many people who cared about each other, about our clients, about our trainers, about our dogs, it probably wouldn't have felt worth plowing through the last 2 years, but it did. And so thank you to all of you for helping make that possible. We are getting to the end of our ceremony, and that makes me want to look forward to the next ceremony, which will be in July. And I think in your program it's got dates, so get those on your calendar. We don't know the times yet because we don't know what venue we'll be at. We're just going to wait and see how conditions are. But in order to get to where we want to be at the next client team training and graduation, we do need your help. We are reopening the capital campaign for our permanent home. The pandemic didn't just do a number on our mental health and our training and all of that. It also caused a lot of delays in the in getting our home ready for us. And so we, not only has it dragged on a couple more years than we expected it to, but in the meantime, material costs have gone up, labor costs have gone up. And so where we had previously raised enough money to hit our target, we are now having to reopen it in order to get this last stretch of the campaign done. We are doing actually a lot of the work ourselves, a lot of this last bit of finish work. So we have a general contractor, but we're doing painting and cabinet installation, flooring installation, landscaping, a lot of that ourselves, and we need help with that. So we have volunteer groups working pretty much every weekend for the next few months. We have that scheduled, and we would love your help. We have a group actually painting tomorrow, and we could use some more bodies to fill that out. So if anybody is interested in a Sunday painting session, we would love to have you. And in your program and also up front, there's a sign-up sheet up front if you want to sign up to volunteer, and you can go to our website or use the QR code on your program to also go online and sign up. And then we also need money to get there, so we need to raise about $100,000 more. Things have gone up pretty significantly in cost. And so we are going to need to raise that in the next couple of months in order to get into our home by the time the next client team training starts, which is our goal, is to have our next graduation with us housed here in Hillsborough and working from our own space instead of the very generously offered Union Grove site. So if you're able to make a donation, it will help us get to that goal. And again, the same website that you can sign up to volunteer, you can also make a donation on that site. So we really appreciate your help getting us to that point. And yeah, I think that come July, if we're here, you'll all wish it were this cool. So thank you all so much for coming today. We really appreciate you, and we are gonna have staff and board and clients will be hanging around for a little while, so if you want to mingle and ask questions, you are welcome to hang out for a while, and thank you so much.